There are politicians who have good intentions for their constituents. They want to help the poor, make good policies, and bring prosperity. But sometimes to do this, they have to go against strong and dangerous forces such as the cartel. At times they win, and other times, well, things don't go as planned. Here are 5 times politicians messed with the wrong cartel. First, Benjamin Galvin Gomez. As the mayor of Nuevo Laredo, Benjamin Galvin Gomez had a clear vision for his administration. He was determined to bring about positive change and improve the lives of the people in his city. Galvin's political projects focused on 3 key areas: education, living standards, and public security. First and foremost, Galvin recognized the importance of education in shaping the future of Nuevo Laredo. He believed that by investing in education, he could give the younger generation the tools they needed to succeed. Under his leadership, schools received much-needed resources and support. Galvin initiated programs to improve the quality of education, ensuring that students had access to a well-rounded curriculum and modern facilities. In addition to education, Galvin was committed to raising living standards in Nuevo Laredo. He understood that a thriving economy and improved infrastructure were essential for the community's well-being. During his tenure, Galvin inaugurated several infrastructure projects, including an auditorium, a sports complex, an aquarium, and an amusement park. These initiatives not only enhanced the quality of life for residents, but also attracted tourism and economic growth to the city. However, Galvin's most significant challenge as mayor was restoring public security in Nuevo Laredo. The city had long been plagued by the presence of drug trafficking organizations, particularly the notorious Los Zetas cartel. Galvin was well aware of the dangers posed by organized crime, but he refused to back down. He implemented strategies to combat corruption, working closely with law enforcement agencies and implementing community-based initiatives to engage citizens in the fight against criminal activities. Galvin's efforts to improve education, living standards, and public security in Nuevo Laredo were commendable. He was a mayor who truly cared about the well-being of his constituents and was willing to take on powerful criminal organizations to make a difference. But little did he know that his determination would put him on a collision course with the dangerous world of the Los Zetas cartel. Despite his noble intentions and dedication to the people of Nuevo Laredo, Benjamin Galvin Gomez faced numerous challenges and threats from organized crime during his tenure as mayor. The city, being a border town, was a battleground for drug trafficking organizations, with the notorious Los Zetas cartel being a dominant force. Galvin's commitment to restoring public security and cracking down on organized crime made him a target. In May 2012, the city was shaken to its core when 14 headless corpses were discovered near the city hall. A chilling message accompanied the gruesome scene, accusing Galvin and other officials of collaborating with the Los Zetas cartel, but the worst was yet to come. The violence escalated further in June 2012 when a car bomb exploded near the city hall. Innocent bystanders were injured, and the blast sent shockwaves through the community. A note left by Sinaloa members alleged that Galvin and members of his staff were protecting the rival Los Zetas cartel. These accusations of officials protecting one group of outlaws over another were unfortunately all too common in Mexico. Galvin's determination to restore public safety and bring about positive change in Nuevo Laredo was met with fierce resistance from the criminal underworld. The threats and violence he faced were constant reminders of the power and reach of the Los Zetas cartel, but Galvin refused to be intimidated. He remained resolute in his mission to protect his city and its people. To address the complex problem of public safety, Galvin proposed innovative solutions that went beyond conventional approaches. He believed in rebuilding the city's social fabric, recognizing that a strong and united community was essential in the fight against crime. Galvin implemented programs that aimed to strengthen the bonds between neighbors, fostering a sense of solidarity and collective responsibility. In addition to community engagement, Galvin advocated for the involvement of civilian forces in law enforcement. He believed that by empowering and training civilians, they could play an active role in maintaining public safety. This approach aimed to bridge the gap between law enforcement agencies and the community, fostering trust and cooperation. Galvin's vision for restoring public safety went beyond short-term fixes. He understood that sustainable change required addressing the root causes of crime. He prioritized initiatives that focused on education, employment, and social development, providing opportunities for individuals to break free from the cycle of violence and poverty. Tragically, Benjamin Galvin Gomez's unwavering commitment to the safety of Nuevo Laredo ultimately led to his untimely demise. On February 27, 2014, Galvin was kidnapped, plunging the city into shock and despair. The details surrounding his abduction remained shrouded in mystery, but it was clear that his dedication to challenging the power of the Los Zetas cartel had made him a target. For a month, the whereabouts of Galvin remained unknown, causing anguish and uncertainty for his family, friends, and the entire community. Finally, his lifeless body was discovered, but the exact location of his murder remained a haunting question. It was believed to have taken place in Tamaulipas, the very state he fought so fiercely to protect. The news of Galvin's tragic fate sent shockwaves through Nuevo Laredo and beyond. The loss of a beloved mayor who had dedicated himself to the betterment of his city was a devastating blow. Hundreds of people, including family members, friends, and politicians, attended his funeral, paying their respects to a man who had given his life in service to his community. In the aftermath of Galvin's murder, the investigation into his kidnapping and killing began. Allegations pointed toward members of the Los Zetas cartel as the perpetrators of this heinous crime. The authorities, determined to bring those responsible to justice, launched a thorough investigation. Several individuals, including former members of the Mexican Army Special Forces, were arrested for their involvement in the kidnapping and murder of Benjamin Galvin Gomez. Their arrests provided a glimmer of hope that justice would be served and the community could find some closure. Jesus Manuel Lara Rodriguez. As the mayor of Guadalupe, Jesus Manuel Lara Rodriguez was no stranger to the devastating impact of drug violence on his community. Taking office in 2007, Lara made it his mission to bring law and order to the town that the ruthless drug cartels had long plagued. Lara's tenure as mayor was marked by his unwavering opposition to the drug lords who held the region in their grip. He recognized the urgent need to combat the flow of drugs into the United States, which fueled the power and wealth of the cartels. With a fierce determination, Lara worked alongside other mayors of border towns, forming a united front against the criminal organizations. His efforts to disrupt the operations of the drug cartels and challenge their authority made him a target for retaliation. Lara received numerous death threats from the powerful drug lords who saw him as a threat to their illicit activities, but he refused to back down, knowing that the safety and well-being of his community depended on his unwavering resolve. Lara's courageous stance against the drug lords earned him respect and admiration from his fellow citizens. He became a symbol of hope and defiance in the face of overwhelming odds, but little did he know that his fight would ultimately lead to a tragic and untimely end. But before I get to that, let's take a look at Jose Reyes Ferris. In the treacherous world of Mexican drug cartels, alliances are crucial for survival. Jesus Manuel Lara Rodriguez found a steadfast partner in Jose Reyes Ferris, the mayor of Ciudad Juarez. Together they formed a formidable duo, united in their mission to combat the drug cartels and protect their border towns. Lara and Ferris shared a deep friendship and a common goal: to rally other border towns in the fight against the powerful drug organizations. Both men were members of the Partido Revolucionario Institucional (PRI) and active participants in the Conferencia de Alcaldes Fronterizos, the Conference of Border Mayors. Their joint efforts were aimed at raising awareness about the devastating impact of drug violence and advocating for stronger measures to combat the cartels. Lara and Ferris understood the importance of border cities in the battle against drug trafficking, as these towns served as crucial gateways for the flow of drugs into the United States. Their voices resonated with other mayors of border towns who were also grappling with the same challenges. Together, they formed a united front, sharing information, strategies, and resources to confront the drug cartels head-on. Their collective efforts sent a powerful message to the criminal organizations that the border towns were not to be taken lightly. But as Lara and Ferris continued to disrupt the operations of the drug cartels, their lives became increasingly endangered. The powerful cartels saw them as threats to their lucrative trade and issued chilling death threats against both mayors. Despite the risks, Lara and Ferris remained resolute in their commitment to the cause, knowing that the safety and well-being of their communities were at stake. However, tragedy struck on June 19, 2010, when Jesus Manuel Lara Rodriguez's life was brutally cut short. It was a day that would forever be etched in the memory of those who witnessed the horrifying events that unfolded in Ciudad Juarez. Lara, accompanied by his wife and child, was walking to his car outside his second home when three gunmen ambushed him. Without warning, they opened fire, shooting him in the back. The chilling act of violence played out before the eyes of his loved ones, leaving them traumatized and shattered. The assailants, their identities concealed behind masks, quickly fled the scene, leaving behind a trail of devastation. The echoes of gunfire were replaced by the deafening silence that followed as Lara's lifeless body lay on the ground, a stark reminder of the dangers he faced in his relentless fight against the drug cartels. The investigation into Lara's murder revealed the chilling extent of the violence that plagued Ciudad Juarez. Police discovered 11 bullet shells at the scene, a grim testament to the ruthless nature of the attack. The cartels had once again demonstrated their willingness to eliminate anyone who dared to challenge their authority. The news of Lara's assassination sent shockwaves throughout Mexico and beyond. In the wake of Lara's murder, the state of Chihuahua was gripped by grief and outrage. The governor, Jose Reyes Baeza, recognized the urgent need for increased security measures. In response, he ordered the deployment of 100 combined federal, state, and military troops to guard the state capital as discussions were held behind closed doors to address the escalating violence. The tragic death of Jesus Manuel Lara Rodriguez was a devastating blow to his family, his community, and the fight against the drug cartels. His unwavering commitment to the safety and well-being of his town will forever be remembered, and his sacrifice serves as a haunting reminder of the ongoing battle against the forces of organized crime. Hipólito Mora. Next, Hipólito Mora, a farmer-turned-politician who took on the cartel and paid the ultimate price. This is the story of how Hipólito Mora messed with the cartel. As the grip of the cartel tightened around the town of La Ruana, Hipólito Mora Chavez refused to stand idly by. In a bold move that would change the course of his life and the fate of his community, Mora founded a vigilante self-defense group. Fueled by a deep desire to protect his fellow townspeople from the cartel's reign of terror, Mora rallied a group of brave individuals who were tired of living in fear. Together, they vowed to take back their town and restore peace. Little did they know the challenges they would face and the sacrifices they would make in their fight against the ruthless cartel. Join us as we uncover the incredible story of how Hipólito Mora and his self-defense group stood up against the cartel's tyranny. In their courageous battle against the cartel, Hipólito Mora's self-defense group faced overwhelming odds, but their determination caught the attention of the Mexican troops, who recognized the urgency of the situation. With their assistance, Mora's group gained a newfound strength and resilience. Together, they launched a relentless campaign to drive out the cartel from the state of Michoacan. Months of intense fighting ensued as Mora's group and the Mexican troops waged war against the cartel's stronghold. Their combined efforts proved to be a turning point in the fight against the criminal organization. Through sheer determination and unwavering resolve, they successfully expelled the cartel from Michoacan, liberating the region from its grip of fear and violence. The victory was hard-fought, with Mora's self-defense group displaying unwavering bravery in the face of danger. They became a symbol of hope for the people of La Ruana and beyond, inspiring others to stand up against the cartels that plagued their communities. But little did they know that their fight was far from over. With the cartel finally expelled from Michoacan, many celebrated the newfound freedom and peace that had been restored. However, for Hipólito Mora, the fight was far from over. While others may have chosen to leave, Mora made the courageous decision to remain in La Ruana, the town he had fought so fiercely to protect. But staying in La Ruana came with great risks. Mora was well aware that his life was in constant danger. The cartel, seeking revenge for their expulsion, had their sights set on him. Mora knew that he had become a target, just like his son, who had tragically lost his life at the hands of the cartel. Undeterred by the threats and the looming danger, Mora continued to be a beacon of hope for his community. He understood that the fight against the cartels was not just about driving them out of the region, but also about rebuilding and creating a safer future for the people of La Ruana. However, tragedy struck on June 29, 2023, when Hipólito Mora's worst fears became a horrifying reality. In a shocking turn of events, Mora fell victim to a brutal ambush and assassination in his own hometown of La Ruana. Unidentified gunmen cut off his vehicle, launching a sudden and violent attack. Amidst a hail of bullets, Mora and 3 members of his security detail valiantly fought back, but the odds were stacked against them. The assailants showed no mercy, relentlessly firing upon Mora's vehicle until it was engulfed in flames. In a matter of moments, the life of a man who had dedicated himself to fighting against the cartels was tragically cut short. The news of Mora's assassination sent shockwaves throughout the region and beyond. The loss of such a fearless leader and advocate for justice left a void that would be difficult to fill. Tributes poured in from all corners, with people mourning the loss of a man who could not be corrupted and who had become an authentic voice for the people. Governor Alfredo Ramirez expressed deep regret over Mora's killing and vowed to bring those responsible to justice. The assassination served as a stark reminder of the ongoing violence and the dangers faced by those who dared to challenge the cartels. As we come to the end of this gripping tale, we reflect on the incredible journey of Hipólito Mora, a man who fearlessly stood up against the cartel's tyranny in Michoacan. From founding a vigilante self-defense group to driving out the cartel with the help of Mexican troops, Mora's story is one of bravery, sacrifice, and unwavering determination. But Mora's fight did not end with the expulsion of the cartel. He chose to remain in La Ruana, fully aware of the risks he faced. Tragically, his life was cut short in a brutal ambush and assassination, leaving behind a legacy of courage and a reminder of the ongoing violence in the region. We must not forget the sacrifices made by individuals like Hipólito Mora, who dared to challenge the cartels and fight for a safer future. Their stories serve as a call to action for all of us to stand up against injustice and support efforts to combat the influence of criminal organizations. Gisela Mota Ocampo. Next, we delve into the tragic tale of Gisela Mota Ocampo, a fearless politician who dared to challenge the grip of a notorious cartel. She was the first female mayor of Temixco, became a symbol of hope and progress for her community. But her determination to take on the powerful drug cartels would prove to be her downfall. Born on March 13, 1982, in the state of Morelos, she was destined to become a trailblazer in her community. From a young age, Mota Ocampo displayed a passion for public service and a drive to make a difference in the lives of those around her. Growing up in a modest household, Mota Ocampo witnessed firsthand the struggles faced by her fellow citizens. This fueled her determination to bring about positive change and improve the lives of the people in her community. She understood that education was the key to breaking the cycle of poverty and worked tirelessly to ensure every child had access to quality education. Mota Ocampo's political journey began when she joined the Party of the Democratic Revolution, PRD, a progressive political party in Mexico. She quickly made a name for herself within the party, earning the respect and admiration of her peers. In 2013, she was elected as a plurinominal deputy in the Ixtahuaychu legislature of the Mexican Congress, representing Morelos. This marked the beginning of her meteoric rise in Mexican politics. As a deputy, Mota Ocampo was a fierce advocate for social justice and equality. She fought tirelessly for the rights of marginalized communities, championing causes such as gender equality, LGBTQ+ rights, and indigenous rights. Her dedication and unwavering commitment to her constituents earned her a reputation as a politician who truly cared about the well-being of the people she served. In June 2015, Mota Ocampo decided to take her political career to the next level by running for the position of mayor of Temixco, a city in Morelos. Her campaign was marked by a sense of hope and optimism as she promised to bring about much-needed change and tackle the pressing issues facing her community. Her message resonated with the people, and she emerged victorious in the elections. On January 1st, 2016, Mota Ocampo was sworn in as the mayor of Temixco, becoming the first female mayor in the city's history. It was a historic moment, not only for Mota Ocampo, but for women across Mexico. Her election was seen as a symbol of progress and a testament to the growing influence of women in Mexican politics. From the moment she took office, Mota Ocampo wasted no time in implementing her vision for Temixco. She was determined to tackle the rampant corruption and insecurity that plagued the city. One of her top priorities was to crack down on the powerful drug cartels that operated within her jurisdiction. She understood that in order to bring about lasting change, she had to confront the root causes of violence and insecurity head-on. Mota Ocampo's uncompromising stance against the cartels quickly made her a target. She refused to turn a blind eye to their illicit activities and was determined to dismantle their operations in Temixco. This bold move earned her the admiration of many, but it also put her life in grave danger. Tragically, on the morning of January 2nd, 2016, just one day after her inauguration, Mota Ocampo's life was cut short in a brutal act of violence. At least 4 armed men stormed into her home in Pueblo Viejo, demanding to know her whereabouts. Despite the terrifying situation, Mota Ocampo displayed immense bravery and identified herself. In a horrifying turn of events, she was shot multiple times just meters away from her newborn nephew. The news of Mota Ocampo's assassination sent shockwaves throughout Mexico and beyond. It was a devastating blow to the nation and a stark reminder of the dangers faced by politicians who dared to challenge the cartels. Her death sparked outrage and raised serious concerns about the influence and reach of organized crime in Mexican politics. In the aftermath of her murder, Morelos Governor Graco Ramirez declared 3 days of mourning in the state and ordered heightened security for all mayors. The loss of Gisela Mota Ocampo was deeply felt by her family, friends, and the entire nation. She was a shining example of courage, integrity, and dedication to public service. Mota Ocampo's legacy lives on, serving as a constant reminder of the dangers faced by politicians in Mexico and the pervasive influence of organized crime in the country's public life. Her sacrifice will not be forgotten, and her commitment to justice and the well-being of her community will continue to inspire future generations. Morelos, a state in central Mexico, has become synonymous with violence, crime, and the pervasive influence of organized criminal groups. The dire security situation in Morelos casts a dark shadow over the region, affecting the lives of its residents and posing significant challenges for those in positions of power, such as Gisela Mota Ocampo. Located just south of Mexico City, Morelos has long been a hotbed for criminal activity. The state's strategic location, with major highways passing through it, has made it an attractive hub for drug trafficking and other illicit activities. Criminal organizations, such as the notorious Los Rojos cartel, have established a stronghold in the region, exerting their influence and terrorizing the local population. The presence of organized crime in Morelos has had devastating consequences for the state's residents. Murder rates have skyrocketed, making it one of the most violent parts of Mexico. Kidnappings, extortion, and rape have become all too common, instilling fear and a sense of helplessness among the people. The influence of organized crime extends far beyond the realm of illegal activities. It has infiltrated various aspects of society, including politics, law enforcement, and even the judicial system. The cartels have been known to bribe officials, ensuring their operations can continue with minimal interference. This web of corruption has made it incredibly difficult for those who seek to challenge the status quo and bring about meaningful change. The investigation into the brutal murder of Gisela Mota Ocampo sent shockwaves throughout Mexico and prompted a relentless pursuit of justice. As the nation mourned the loss of a courageous leader, law enforcement agencies worked tirelessly to uncover the truth truth behind her assassination and bring the perpetrators to justice. From the outset, suspicions pointed towards the Los Rojos Cartel, a powerful criminal organization with a stronghold in Morelos. Mota Ocampo's refusal to allow the cartel to operate within her jurisdiction had made her a target. The brutal nature of her murder suggested a message being sent, a chilling reminder of the consequences faced by those who dared to challenge the cartels. As the investigation progressed, additional evidence emerged linking the assailants to the Los Rojos cartel. Phone records, surveillance footage, and witness testimonies all pointed toward the involvement of the criminal organization. The pieces of the puzzle were slowly falling into place, painting a damning picture of the cartel's role in Mota Ocampo's murder. The investigation into Gisela Mota Ocampo's murder laid bare the influence and reach of the Los Rojos cartel, exposing the dire security situation in Morelos and the challenges faced by those who dared to challenge the cartels. It served as a stark reminder of the urgent need for comprehensive reforms and a united front against organized crime. The legacy of Gisela Mota Ocampo will forever be intertwined with the fight for justice and the pursuit of a safer, more secure Mexico. Maria Santos Gorostieta Salazar. Maria Santos Gorostieta Salazar was a fearless Mexican physician and politician, dared to challenge the powerful drug cartels that plagued her country. In a small town in the state of Michoacan, she served as the mayor of Tiquicheo, where she survived multiple assassination attempts. Her unwavering determination to fight organized crime and her refusal to be silenced made her a thorn in the side of the cartel. Despite the constant threats and attacks, Gorostieta Salazar continued to speak out against the criminal organizations, earning her the reputation of a modern-day heroine. However, her courageous battle against the cartels ultimately led to her tragic demise. Maria Santos Gorostieta Salazar's journey as a politician and her confrontation with the drug cartels began with a chilling assassination attempt that would forever change her life. It was October 2009 when Gorostieta Salazar, accompanied by her first husband, Jose Sanchez, was driving through the town of El Limone in Michoacan. Little did they know that their lives were about to be shattered by a hail of bullets. Gunmen ambushed their vehicle, raining bullets upon them with merciless intent. In the chaos and terror of the moment, Gorostieta Salazar and Sanchez found themselves caught in a deadly crossfire. The attack claimed the life of her beloved husband, leaving her devastated and wounded. The pain of losing her partner and the physical scars she bore would forever serve as a reminder of the dangers she faced in her fight against the cartels. But Gorostieta Salazar's spirit could not be broken. Despite the unimaginable tragedy she had endured, she refused to be silenced or intimidated. Instead, she emerged from the depths of despair with an unwavering determination to continue her mission of combating organized crime and protecting her community. The assassination attempt had left Gorostieta Salazar physically scarred, but it also ignited a fire within her. She became even more resolute in her fight against the cartels, publicly denouncing their activities and vowing to protect her community from their grip of fear. Her voice grew louder, her determination stronger, as she refused to back down in the face of danger. Gorostieta Salazar's bravery and resilience did not go unnoticed. She was hailed as a heroine of the 21st century, a beacon of hope in a country plagued by violence and corruption. Her unwavering commitment to her duties as a politician and her refusal to be silenced by fear or intimidation made her a symbol of courage and defiance. But the dangers she faced were far from over. The cartels, threatened by her unwavering stance against them, saw her as a formidable adversary. They would stop at nothing to silence her once and for all. Gorostieta Salazar's life would be forever marked by the constant threat of violence and the knowledge that her fight for justice came at a tremendous personal cost. In the face of such danger, Gorostieta Salazar made a decision that would shape the course of her life. She chose to continue her mission, to protect her community, and to stand up against the cartels, even if it meant putting her own life on the line. Maria Santos Gorostieta Salazar's resilience and determination were put to the test once again in the face of a second assassination attempt. Just 3 months after the tragic loss of her first husband, she found herself targeted by the ruthless drug cartels that sought to silence her voice. This time, the attack was even more brazen and violent, leaving her with physical and emotional scars that would shape the rest of her life. It was a fateful day in January 2009 when Gorostieta Salazar and her team were traveling on the road between Michoacan and Guerrero. Suddenly, a masked group armed with assault rifles ambushed their van, unleashing a hail of bullets upon them. The vehicle was peppered with over 30 rounds, and Gorostieta Salazar was struck by 3 of them. The wounds she sustained were severe, leaving her with multiple scars and forcing her to rely on a colostomy bag. The physical pain she endured was matched only by the emotional toll of the attack. But despite the unimaginable suffering she experienced, Gorostieta Salazar refused to be defeated. Her spirit remained unbroken, and her determination to fight against the cartels burned even brighter. With unwavering courage, Gorostieta Salazar returned to her duties as mayor, refusing to let the violence and threats deter her from her mission. She knew the risks she faced, faced, but her commitment to her community and her unwavering belief in justice propelled her forward. The scars she bore were not just physical reminders of the dangers she faced, but also symbols of her resilience and unwavering resolve. Gorostieta Salazar's survival and her refusal to back down in the face of such brutality made her a symbol of hope and inspiration for many. Her story resonated with countless individuals who were also affected by the violence and corruption that plagued their communities. She became a voice for the voiceless, a beacon of strength in a country ravaged by the drug cartels. Despite the constant threats and the toll it took on her personal life, Gorostieta Salazar remained steadfast in her fight against the cartels. But her relentless pursuit of justice and her refusal to back down in the face of danger made her a prime target for the ruthless cartels. And again, on a fateful day in November 2012, her worst fears became a horrifying reality. It was a seemingly ordinary morning when Gorostieta Salazar, accompanied by her young daughter, set out to drive her to school in the city of Morelia. Little did she know that her life was about to take a dark and sinister turn. As they made their way through the city streets, a car suddenly ambushed them, forcing Gorostieta Salazar's vehicle to come to a screeching halt. Within moments, she found herself surrounded by a group of armed individuals, their faces masked by a chilling anonymity. The air was thick with tension as the assailants forcibly removed Gorostieta Salazar from her vehicle. Witnesses watched in horror as she pleaded for her daughter's safety, her desperate cries echoing through the air. In a heart-wrenching turn of events, Gorostieta Salazar appeared to comply with her abductors, seemingly getting into their car willingly. Her young daughter was left behind, wailing in confusion and fear as her mother was driven away. The family's worst nightmare had become a devastating reality. For the next week, Gorostieta Salazar's family anxiously awaited a ransom call that never came. Their hopes of a safe return were shattered when, 8 days later, her lifeless and battered body was discovered dumped by a roadside in San Juan Tararameo, Quitzio Township. The brutality of her death sent shockwaves through the nation, leaving a void that could never be filled. The details of Gorostieta Salazar's final moments were nothing short of horrifying. Her body bore the marks of unspeakable violence. She had been stabbed, burned, battered, and bound at the wrists and ankles. The cartels had exacted their revenge on a woman who had dared to challenge their authority, leaving behind a trail of devastation and grief. The loss of Maria Santos Gorostieta Salazar was not just a personal tragedy, but a profound blow to the fight against the drug cartels. This is a reminder that the lives of these dangerous individuals should never be romanticized. Thank you for watching. Click on the videos you see on your screen for similar content.